All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Aaron's Book Club. I have a book review to do today, and this one has left me conflicted, which I didn't think it would. The book review I have to do today is called Touched by a Horse, Equine Coaching Series. Melisa Pearce is the editor, and it is... Actually, let's start with the cover. I read the editor's introduction, and they believe the cover is something that is really nice. They really like it. But for me, this photo is not flattering to the person or the horse. It just looks like the horse is mushing her face out, which I know is not happening. And I know the principle of the photo is to show the love and connection between the human and the horse. It just, for whatever reason, sits wrong with me. And that's kind of the theme of the book. The premise of the book is that it's a coaching series for a training system that is called, I think, Equine Gestalt coaching series. So there are multiple stories that are kind of like testimonials for the series. And the stories are really good, except when they start getting into advertising the coaching method, which that part is to be expected. I understand that, and I don't fault the advertising of the series. My concern is the premise that this book is saying. The coaching series is based on energies and energy flow and using a horse as your energy partner to help heal humans, which, again, I don't have a problem with. I myself work with horses, and I myself have felt the energy they put off. What I have a problem with is, even in the very beginning, there was talk about how we need to step away from the training methods that are ego-based and dominance-based, and more into the training methods that are these energy-based healing methods. But then at the very same page, the flip page of it, they're trying to say that horses were put on Earth solely for the purpose of healing humans. That's why they were put on Earth. That is the only reason they were put on Earth, was to heal humans with their energy and their strength. I have a real problem with that, because you're telling people that you need to go away from a dominance-based, ego-based training method, and then you have the arrogance to say horses, or any species for that matter, is put on Earth solely to help the human race, our species. No. No. That there is the biggest arrogance and ego that I've ever heard of. And because you're hiding it under the, oh, but we're healing and we're using energies, and these horses are willing to work with us and they want to work with us and they're powerful, and that kind of thing, doesn't make it okay to say that they are put on Earth to heal you. Newsflash, horses were not put on Earth for humans at all. And I know, as a horse lover myself, I keep a horse, I ride a horse, I do a lot of stuff with my horse. I, in no way, shape, or form, believe that my horse was put on the earth for me to ride, or anybody to ride. They were not designed. They were not, let's hear this again. Horses are not designed for us to ride them. That is not why they were put on earth. They were not designed for us to ride them. Horses were put on earth, just like dogs, just like cats, just like bears, just like insects, just like humans, to find a mate, propagate, and continue on the species, and not get eaten by predators while you're at it. That is why they were put on Earth. They were not put on Earth to serve us. They do serve us, and a lot of them willingly do serve us and enjoy doing it. That doesn't mean that's what they were put on Earth for. And every time that you work with a horse and don't end up getting hurt, and every time that you swing a leg over a horse and don't end up getting thrown to the ground, it's a gift. That horse is allowing you to do that. So the book kind of triggered me a bit. Part of it I really enjoyed. Really enjoyed the stories about sharing the energies and healing with your horses and that kind of thing. But the whole premise that they were only put on this earth to serve humans, no. And then to say that you're working in a partnership with these animals and these are your healing partners, and then on the flip side saying, well, if the horse doesn't work as a healing partner, you got to get rid of them. So, like, you still own your healing partner. That is not a healing partner. That is a slavery. Just calling a spade a spade. That's what it is. And then on top of that, multiple testimonials in this book. And let's keep in mind, these are testimonials on people who are trying to say that this is a good program, a good coaching series, or whatever. Multiple testimonials say, well, the cost of this series or the cost of this coaching program is cost prohibitive for me. There were a few that said, I can't do it because I don't have the money. But I thought positively about it, and somehow I found them. One of the stories was it was not feasible for me to be able to afford this program, but it's okay because a couple months later, a relative of my family died and left me money to have the program. So they manifested it, and it happened. So if your testimonial folk are telling you that it's expensive, and your product is the healing power of horses that was put on earth solely to heal humans, for me, warning lights of cult come up. This is cult think. This is cult behavior for me. You have one leader who's teaching others who branch out and teach others for an obscene amount of money that I can only assume because these are the positive people that are saying stuff. I guess part of it is I don't know the actual system. The system is not explained. All they say is that it's energy healing and it's chakra finding, and that's a whole other thing. Like the behavior that they're describing with horses, like licking and chewing, they're saying that is a horse leeching the negative energy from you or leeching the bad chakras or whatever and expressing that out. Behavior science says that licking and chewing is the horse trying to release tension. And tension and energy may be the same thing to some people. Fine, whatever. But don't claim something of a behavior that could mean many different things. And you're saying that you're trying to be true to your real self when a lot of these stories are women who have been, and it's all women. There weren't any men in this because men, I guess, can't feel emotion. Anyway, a lot of these stories were women who have had a very poor life or who are in a very bad headspace, projecting their feelings onto the horse. And then getting feedback from the coach saying, well, this horse is now healing you energy-wise. Which makes me concerned because when you're in that headspace, and I've been there, I've been suicidal, I've been in that headspace. When you're in that headspace and you're desperately clawing for any kind of person to pull you off the cliff, you can be taken advantage of really easily. And this book has all of the warning signs of, come pay lots of money, let me take advantage of you because I know you're in a bad headspace, and carry on with your life. I may be out to lunch. I may be way off on this, but I don't think I am. And this book really concerns me. But at the same time, I'm conflicted because the stories are really good. If you would just take the humans manipulating other humans based on healing energy out of it. Yeah. Because in my mind, you can't sell that. If it's a true love and emotional support then you really shouldn't be asking for money. Love isn't for sale. And in this book, I feel as though love and support is for sale. But I don't know. I needed a book to get me up and running because I was in a dangerous chances of a reading slump. This one did it. You guys may have read it and totally enjoyed it. I don't know. But I'll let you know when I have another book read. Thanks, guys.